right, gamers, we're back in the driver's seat. Good to be back. I had a fantastic vacation. Huge shout out to my brother and his wife. Amazing people. It was an amazing time. Thank you so much. I feel extremely blessed to be able to do the things that I do every single day. And so, yeah, I feel re-energized, recharged, and ready to dive into what is, in this case, is the smallest kiddie pool I've ever seen. Hey, listen, I'm really excited. This is our first look here at the Ironheart uniform and the Hood uniform, or like the looks of the characters, whatever you want to call it. We are getting a new character. I was wrong. I thought that Mephisto getting a uniform and a tier 4 would be less work than a brand new character with brand new skills and rigging and whatever. But no, I was wrong. Or it doesn't matter, I guess. I was wrong, and maybe it doesn't matter. That we're getting Hood. So that's cool. We're getting a brand new character. He is going to be tier 3able. You can see here that he is going to be tier 3, so that's pretty nice. We're not getting a tier 2 trap. And then we're getting a new uniform in tier 4 for Ironheart. Now, this is a rolling patch that's going to be happening tonight, July 1st, for us over in North America, South America, Central America. For you guys over in the rest of the world, it's going to happen on the 2nd. But it's going to be happening for people on the West Coast. It's going to be happening at 8 p.m. Pacific or 11 p.m. Eastern for me and people on the East Coast. But this is usually also the latest possible time, just so it encompasses everybody. Usually, these rolling updates will start happening anywhere from an hour to half an hour before this stated time. So I'm going to be live here tonight on YouTube around 10:30 p.m., which is around half an hour before, which is around the time that these updates usually come out. And you're not going to need, there's no downtime maintenance. You're just going to close the game, reopen the game, and it'll prompt you to download, and then you'll be good to go. So we're getting the Hood. Pretty nice here. I'm glad we're getting a new character. I think he's really cool. I think he certainly has room to grow as the game continues and gets to tier 4 and stuff like that. He should be, you know, considerably, like he could really have some legs to move. So I like the fact that they added the Hood. I think it's quite nice. He is a paywall character, you know, further in the future, but for now, he'll actually be available through the Dice Game event, the Hero Pursuit Lap 6 reward. So if everyone will be able to get him for free, unlock him for free if you're playing the game over the next week or so. If you don't play the game over the next week or so, yeah, he's a paywall character. He's a paywall human male blast villain with evil and fast movement. He's got a very nice villain leadership, 60% attack. He's got his own skill damage, bonus damage, and a little bit of damage reduction in addition to more energy attack. And then on his skills, he has paralysis. He has shock there with a buff. He has bleed. Panic on his 5th skill, which we don't see too often. It was introduced back in October of 2023 with Dr. Voodoo's uniform and Man-Thing. So I think this is the first time we see it since then, or maybe the second time we see it. He has a heal on his 4th skill for 30%, excuse me, with a 5-second invincibility and a 100% damage proc, so that should hit pretty hard. And then his Demon Blast 5th skill has a Frenzy buff. So no accumulation, unfortunately. No iframe ignore. No reflect. No revive. Nothing too fancy here for the Hood. They tried to keep it kind of low-key. Not the biggest fan of the 17-second cooldown. Also, they couldn't really get very creative with the skills. There's Demon Blast, Demon's Touch, Demon Shock, Demon Bullet, and Demon Bomb. So, yeah, just your typical Demon Terrorist. Not sure if I say the T word if the video gets demonetized, so I guess this will be a gamble. We also get the one new uniform, the T word. We get the one new uniform for Ironheart, still remaining as a blast female hero with the machine and leadership abilities. Pretty good ability tags there, so she can double dip, triple dip, War Machine's passive, Hulkbuster's passive, White Fox's passive, all that good stuff. She retains her uniform effect, and it retains 25% ignore dodge, and now 45% increased damage to boss types, which is up from 35%. So it is only a 10% bump, but that's still a pretty meaningful bump, right? 10% is pretty big, considering you're only moving from 35. And then her leadership is 55% energy attack to blast types, which remains the same. So as a support, she only gets about 10%. Well, not 10%. Technically, she gets more like... It's technically a 25% buff or something like that. But because this one isn't moving, it's a little bit less. Anyways, she gets some kind of buff. I would say in the realm of like 15% on average better as a support type. The rest of it's going to be in her skills, whether she's actually like a useful character, a useful tier 4 if she hits hard enough. She does have accumulation on her 5th skill, 1.1% accumulation for 8 seconds, which is very, very nice. That's quite a long accumulation. I don't know if she already had accumulation. She did, and it was also 1.1. So that's the same. She has a 3-second invincibility with a 25% heal, which is pretty nice. I think that's bumped by 5%. She also retains the V-Pad, which is great on Exploding Cannon. And then she has another Frenzy buff there. But again, nothing too crazy. She does get Guard Break immunity and 15% chain hit on her 4-star passive, which is exactly the same as before. Okay. And then her tier 2 passive, I hadn't looked at this ahead of time. Apologies. She retains the same buffs. They just bumped her skill damage bonus damage by 5 and 10% respectively. So nothing too crazy here for either Hood or Ironheart is what I'm seeing. No brand new effects except for, I guess, the new-ish, rare-ish panic effect being added to the Hood. But yeah, this is a mid-month update, so I'm not too, I'm not expecting explosions basically. But Demon Bomb. Ironheart's tier 4 is just really boring. I don't know why they just love to be so boring, but it buffs her basic attack, and then when she uses attacks, she gets even more basic attacks. So do you want a bread sandwich with some more bread and a couple more slices of bread? Sounds delicious. Yeah, it's just kind of boring, man. I don't know. It could be good, but it's just boring, right? I think it would just be more interesting if she got like damage, or just change the words around, man. We're just monkeys. We're just monkeys. If you just keep showing us the same picture, if you flip it upside down, right, we suddenly think it's so cool. They could just do something different. I don't know, man. The Hood's tier 3 looks pretty cool. He keeps getting this demon face thing on all his skills. Looks really spooky. I like it. I like the freaky and the spooky and the occult and the arcane. His tier 3 looks pretty good. He's got the charm buff, Delio, where he heals for 50% of the dot damage, up to 30% of his max HP. And then he's got invincibility, ignore dodge, and a buff there. He also has an artifact, which gives him increased damage to enemies with 50% HP or lower. This is not traditionally a very good artifact. He's also not tier 4, so we're not really expecting the world from him. But yeah, it could be like, listen, this is not a great artifact, but it could be so much worse. We've seen some truly atrocious artifacts lately, just 20% increased basic attack. So this is definitely better than that. This is definitely a step up, but I would still say this is like a C tier artifact, or like a C+ tier artifact. It's not that great. Some of the time attack special deal, some of the sales, guys, sales. This is not anything for the gameplay. Some of the sales are going to pop up again for people who did not purchase them. So they're just trying to entice people to purchase things. Surprise, surprise. It is a mobile game. They also fixed the Sunspot not being categorized as an X-Men in the team section, so that's cool. And then yeah, that's it. So the Ironheart update celebration event, just so you guys are caught up on the events ahead of the update. We have the new uniform and the optional uniform sale. The optional uniforms suck, a fat one. Star-Lord sucks. Mordo sucks, excuse me. Valkyrie has a new one. Rogue has a new one. Beta Ray Bill's the only one that's good. So this is pretty bad. I guess this is technically Star-Lord's newest. So Star-Lord and Beta Ray Bill aren't bad. Star-Lord's is actually Beta Ray Bill's is actually really good. Star-Lord's is not that good. The other three in the middle just suck in general, like overall. We have the growth bonus missions, character ranking event, and ranked battle. I forgot to sort of, it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna make a big thing about this, but they still retain the character ranking event. Also, this really looks like the actor. I have to say they did a really good job with the modeling. But they retained the character ranking events for lesser characters. Usually it's like the transcendent characters that don't get any buffs during an update. Like last update, it was like Goliath and Yellow Jacket and stuff. And I think Cassie. But yeah, it's cool that they keep the ranking event as well as the ranked battle. I prefer the ranked battle, don't get me wrong, but it's cool that they have both. Also, it'll be funny because Ironheart's awakening skill is Ironheart and Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and the fight in ranked battle is against Devil Dinosaur. So it'll be Devil Dinosaur versus Devil Dinosaur. It's just kind of a silly thing here. If you're into dinosaurs, funny enough, Jurassic World's coming out. Not a promo, guys, but if you use code Cynic at checkout, if you're buying tickets in the greater... no, I'm just kidding. You'll get a free Velociraptor egg in the mail. 7-day check-in event, some Nornstone login thing, energy bonus mission, artifact unequipping event, and I believe artifact gambling, and then the hero pursuit event. And again, I just mentioned this one, guys, the dice event, because it's going to be running from the next day, not the day of the patch, not tonight, but tomorrow. It's going to be running for 1 week, and that's the only time you have to get the hood for free. So I just want to point that out to you guys. 5 bios right there on the 6th lap completion. These are the normal free rewards. This is a really good event anyways, because you get a bunch of like solid rewards, culminating in a random Odin's Blessing. The upgrade rewards are not bad either, because the upgrade, I believe, costs $10 US, and it has a competitive number of crystals as well as all these rewards. Not saying you should buy it. Obviously, you know, spend at your discretion. But it's not a bad event at all, and it's really nice that they're injecting these existing events with additional rewards, right? 5 biometrics for the hood, so everyone can unlock them for free. Sounds pretty good to me. So yeah, that's about it. Pretty light update, but certainly better than Bishop 2 weeks ago, which is it's crazy now to think. Hopefully the next update comes soon, but it's possible that we have to wait another 2 weeks, unfortunately. I really hope it's not, but it's probably going to be, yeah. July 15th is going to be the next main update, and so we'll start seeing sneak peeks between the 7th of July and the 10th of July. So if you're looking forward to that, that's kind of your window to find out. So it's less than a week for us to, usually on average, it's about less than a week for us to find out when the update is, and that'll put the next live stream with 3RL and the announcer on the 14th of July, and then yeah, the next update on the 15th/16th for those of you that are not in North, South, or Central America. Anyway, guys, I'll see you tonight on the live stream. Ironheart may get tier 4 right away. I do like her. I do really like her as a support. We'll see if she can clap on her own. And Ironheart joined by the Hood. Thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content. Good to be back. I'm glad to be recharged and re-energized. And I'll see you then. Take care.